nobody cares about your company. So this is so look, what they care is about the
how
impact,
you solve their problem.
how you solve their problem. Why are you talking about you? I would do business with you right now.
Welcome to 10X Owners Live. We are very excited, thrilled.
We are thrilled to
be joined with our family.
That's right. Back on 10X Owners
for?
Live.
What's the look for?
That was just I'm thrilled to be next to you.
Oh, that's great. Brandon and I have been separated for the last 5 days.
It's a long time. We're normally not away from each other.
We've not been away from each other for this long since before COVID. And it's great. It's like the whole 10X family. We're back in action together. We're here to talk about all things growing and scaling your business. Brandon, why on earth should they listen to you about growing and scaling their business?
This is my least favorite part of 10X Owners Live, having to repeat myself because of the new people that come on here.
No, we love repeating ourselves, and we love the new people who are on here.
All right. Well, I love the new people that are on here.
Yeah.
I just hate repeating myself.
That's okay.
So look, I'm Brandon Dawson. I am Josh Dawson's older brother, much more attractive, much more intelligent, and I happen to have built my last business from scratch. From zero, generating 50 million in profits using the same concepts, the same structures, using the same IP that we teach every single day, business owners and Cardone Ventures. I grew that business, scaled it up over 14 years, sold it for $151 million with an equity structure.
Wait, how much was it?
151 million, 77 times
time?
EBITDA, 151 million.
Okay, great.
And basically, I've been building a system, a technology, a platform, an operating engine to take small to mid-sized businesses and 10X them. We partnered in 2019 with Grant and Elena Cardone, and in 36 months, we now have $1 billion of businesses under management at Cardone Ventures. And in our third full year of being in business, we'll generate over 75 million in revenue this year. Last year, in our second full year, we did 40. And in our first year, we did 14 and a half. So if you want to know how to go from zero to 100 million in revenue in 4 years, this is exactly what we're teaching businesses every single day. And as soon as we hit 100 million, we're going to pop to a billion. And then we're going to show those that are serious about going to a billion how to do it. Because we believe if you're going to be listening to somebody, if you're going to be following somebody, if you're going to be getting advice from somebody, it should be somebody that's actually done it.
Totally.
And doing it.
Totally.
And willing to teach you exactly how they're doing it. And if they're not any of those three, you shouldn't be listening to him.
He gets mad at me every time I make him repeat himself. But the reality is there's just so much bad advice out there. And we see it every single day. I get served TikTok ads, Instagram ads, or people that we know.
Listen to me. I'll teach you how to grow and
gosh.
scale. I'll teach you all about people and how to hire them. And none of them have anybody working for them.
Yes. And it's just a big farce. And we're
That's a
not
big
about
word.
Farce. You like that?
How many of you, this is new? Put new or put one. If this is your first time, put new or put, look at, oh yeah, old. I love it. One, new. Look at all these
let's do the new.
Let's go.
3.
Definitely new to money. Love that one. So we got a veteran. Love it.
Well, welcome to our new attendees to 10X Owners Live. Every week we choose a different topic to talk about as it relates to growing and scaling your business. And as Brandon mentioned earlier, we talk about these things because they're real life things that we are implementing in our business today, that work in our business today. And we don't just tell you numbers to brag about the numbers. We tell you the numbers so that you actually know that what we're doing works and that there's legitimacy behind everything that we're talking about.
And in fact, when you come to our events, we actually take our numbers out and we take the whiteboard out and we show, here's what we did year 1, here's how many employees. Here's what we did year 2, here's how many employees, and here's what those employees were doing. Here's what we did year 3, because the whole point in building a business to 125 million from the first 100,000 to 125 million is follow the leader, not reinventing, not practicing, not getting beat up and making huge mistakes and running the risk of losing your business. I mean, if you're new here, then you should probably hear the stats. 97% of all businesses under 100 million will fail. 97% will fail over 10 years. 2/3 fail in the first 5 years. and 25 million out of 31.5 million small to mid-sized business owners, the owners are working for themselves, making less than the median household income. So and 98.2% of all the businesses under 100 million are trapped under 3 million. So the statistics show why you need to do it right. And what we've been able to do is map the 7 breakpoints from basically startup to 125 million, what needs to be in place, how it needs to be in place, the most efficient and effective way to put it in place, the people that need to be in place, what they're doing, how they're doing it, and where they're contributing, and what the clients that you need in order to do business and stay in business, and the exceptional post-sale service and follow-up you need to be able to do to retain those clients for the life of the client. Like, that's a system. And if you're new and you want to know what that system looks like and how many businesses we're helping, I always look at the stats. I love the stats. And one of the stats
Hit us with the stats.
One of the stats I love is that today we have over $1.1 billion of businesses that are actively working with us in our programs. We are literally, I think, like 8 million of revenue away from going over $500 million of actively managing and running businesses with business owners in Cardinal Ventures. And that's the number that I'm most excited about. And then we have $150 million of partners that we've already partnered with in their businesses. That's the number I'm absolutely most excited about. And which industries? We're talking insurance. We're talking about CPAs. We're talking about dentists. We're talking about chiropractors. We're talking about concrete, landscaping, HVAC, electrical, roofing, plumbing. We could go on and on and on and on. And here's the thing. Every one of those businesses I'm talking about, there's 3 sectors that make up 45% of the domestic GDP.
Who knows what GDP is?
But GDP, if you know what
if
GDP
you know what
is.
GDP is, put it in the chat. The last thing we want to do to a bunch of business owners is confuse you. Gross domestic product.
That's right. The economy, the whole economy in the US is the GDP. So these 3 sectors, even though there's hundreds of businesses, make up 45% of the GDP. They employ 67% of the workforce, and yet they're only represented 6% on the stock market. So those business owners are never seeing the high valuations, but the people that eventually buy those businesses are. So our mission, Grant, myself, Natalie, our mission is to bring that value to the independent business owners so they don't have to give their business up for years of hard work, and then partner with them and teach them how to grow and scale and create massive value for them, their family, and for many of you, generational wealth. And we're very pleased about the success stories we've had in the last 36 months. All of them are documented, including managing their P&Ls, because we don't talk about things we cannot prove.
So true. And as Brandon's talking about the amount of businesses that we have under management, why that would be important if I was you sitting on this call is sometimes people tend to think that their business challenges are unique to them. Oh, it's my market. Oh, it's the industry that I'm in. That won't work for me. And it might feel that way when it's you as an entrepreneur trying to figure something out on your own without the context of other people doing similar things or running into similar challenges. And so when you feel that way, you tend to just acquiesce at the level that you're at. Maybe that's a revenue level, it's a profit level, it's an employee count. But when you have context, which is what we provide people, of saying, hey, we know that this is successful regardless of what industry you're in, or this is successful specifically with the industry that you're in, because we're working in so many industries, but also because we see macro trends, we're really able to give you guys real-time data and information today in 2022, July 19th, as to what's working. And one of the things that we would love to hone in on with you guys on this Tuesday afternoon, also known as family night here for our 10X family, is marketing stats.
So before we do that, Joy Boy, I can't quite see because my glasses are bad, by the way, and the font's small, asked what happened 36 months ago that prompted us to decide to do this. Well, the answer is in 2016, I sold my business for 77 times EBITDA, $151 million. to $1 billion public company that I then took with the group out of Denmark from 1 billion to 4.5 billion. And I completed that work in 2019. And then we partnered with Grant and Elena, and Cardone Ventures is a new company as in the last 36 months. So that should fill in the timeline for you to wonder why in the last 36 months, because we were busy going from $1 billion to 4.5.
Nice little explanation.
There you be. All right. So she's talking about marketing. And really, when I think about marketing, I think more of promotion.
Oh, well, we're gonna talk about this. But
I know, but marketing is a form of promotion, right? Or promotion is a form of marketing. Which one is it?
Both. Don't trick me with your questions.
All right. So Natalie, since you're the primary hostess with the mostest for tonight's show,
Yes.
why don't you tell the audience what it is specifically that they're downloading and what we're talking about?
First of all, this is not an audience. This is our family. How could you?
Well, there's new people in here. How can you call them
They're
family
family.
already?
What do you mean? They're family. If you're a business owner or you're a leader on this call on a Tuesday night when you don't have to be here, I see a lot of our employees on the chat. They don't have to be here. It's not a requirement. That means that you are part of this crazy thing that we believe in, which is 10X. That you are pursuing your goals, you want to learn more, you want to become better, and we are here to give you information to do exactly that. And in order to do that, we created this freaking awesome worksheet. This is probably one of my favorite worksheets for marketing KPIs. And for those of you who struggle with marketing KPIs, if you would like to know what our marketing KPIs are and kind of the layout and the structure for how we use them, I would highly recommend you downloading this worksheet because it's going to give you some context into what you should be looking for as it relates to your marketing. If you're not tracking these things, you got to figure out, hey, why am I not tracking these things? Why do I not have visibility into this? And if you could track them, if you could have visibility into them, what would that do to grow your business? So if you knew that it could, then why wouldn't you start? That would be the logical question. So make sure you download the worksheet, especially if you have a business that has a marketing team or a marketing stakeholder. This is going to be incredibly helpful and beneficial to you. All right, guys, you can take off the QR code. Thank you. So first and foremost, many of you might be asking, what is a KPI and what does that have to do with marketing? Well, in any department in your organization, there are things called key performance indicators. There are key performance indicators for your organization and then also across departments, which are the special things that you look at in order to know if this is doing well or if this is not doing well.
For example, I'll give you an example.
Oh, you're gonna give an example?
So every single morning, there's a morning report that talks about how much cash we generated.
Yep.
What is that compared to the best 2 months for the same period of time in our best 2 months previous? So that I have, I get intuition about how we're doing. And then another thing is for our managed business services, I look at show rate for calls. So if the show rate for the calls, because all the businesses we manage, they have dozens of calls over the month for things like finance, operations, marketing, people development, training, all these programs. And I look at show ratio. And if I see a 96, 97, 98, 100% show KPI, show ratio, then I know that whatever our clients are doing, it's important enough for them to make the phone call. If I saw that slip to 75 or 65, that would be an indicator to me that clients aren't making their calls, which means there must not be perceived value. So like a key KPI for me is when there is a scheduled call with our clients out of our managed services division, what's the show rate from our clients? That for me, I look at that. I look at how much we have in management and I look at how much we have for management fees. Those are 3 data points I look at every single day.
So good. And as it relates to marketing, key performance indicator, one of the ones that we're looking at here, customer lifetime value. So what is the lifetime value of a customer? And why that's important for us is it allows us to know how much money we can spend in order for us to acquire a customer. So that would be a key performance indicator, because if we have a long customer lifetime value or a large customer lifetime value, we're going to be able to spend more, which dictates the decision that we're making in order to acquire customers every single day.
I'll give you another example.
Wait, hold on. Sorry. Versus a metric. A metric in a marketing department might be something like likes on a video or shares on a
Inbound
photo.
calls.
Yeah, where it's important to know and to have data on these things. There's hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of metrics that you could be measuring in your business. And oftentimes it's easy to start measuring easy things. It's easy to start measuring things that are in front of you instead of looking at the strategic things that if you just focused on those key performance indicators, the ones that indicate to you early on if there's an issue or if you're going to be able to kind of complete the customer life cycle or bring somebody in or making sure that you have the right retention and conversion rates. If you're looking at just the metrics and you're not really looking at the key performance indicators, business owners can get overwhelmed with all the data and information inside their organizations. And then instead of continuing to move forward with growing, they just quit because they don't know what to properly look at.
Now let me give you another example to help you. So let's say in my old business, you owned a hearing aid office.
Yes.
And you sold hearing aids.
Yes.
So what you're saying is the main KPI, if I knew the average customer that bought hearing aids bought 2.
Yep.
And over their lifespan, they averaged 2.5 purchases.
Yep.
So that would be 5 hearing aids over their lifespan. And I know the average price of a hearing aid is $3,000.
Yep.
So that average lifetime value of a client in hearing care would be
$15,000.
$15,000. Okay. So I'm just trying to give you something simple you can relate to your business. And that 15,000 on average would come in over about 10 to 11 years. Now, this is important because if you knew that you were talking to somebody, if you were spending money on an ad, now the matrix that she's talking about could be, how much did I spend for an ad? How many times did the phone call ring? How many appointments did I set? How many people came in? How many people bought? And what was the purchase against the average purchase? So that there's 5 elements, which would be matrix, that would then have your first transaction. And then you know that you're going to spend money every year to service that client and to send mailings to them and send them newsletters and host them for, a cocktail reception or depends on what kind of clients, or an annual lunch and learn or something, because in 3.8 years, they're going to buy again. And when they buy again, they're going to spend another $6,000 with you. So you would be able to predict, which we did, that it costs you $160,000 to get a new client. You're going to sell $6,000.
$160,000?
$160 to get a new client.
If it was $160,000,
yeah, you'd be in trouble.
The business would be great.
And so you knew $160 to get a new client, and then you knew that was worth on average $6,000, and then you would budget $300 for 3.8 years in programs to keep continuity, warranty, recall programs, free cleaning checks, free this, maybe an annual of that, in order to maybe some free hearing aid batteries, in order to retain the relationship, because you would know at the 3.8 years on average, they buy again. So that would be knowing the lifetime value of a customer and actually having a budget and a system and a process to nurture those relationships over the term of finding them and retaining them through their life cycle. And car dealers are great at this. All business owners should be really super good at this, because this is how once you get big data, this is how you build your business. And this is what this worksheet's talking about, is knowing what your key performance indicator is, which Natalie said would be your lifetime value, and then tracking your matrices that will add up to being able to convert that. Anybody that's on here that's a current existing client that has any wins, feel free to tell us what your wins are too, because I like wins.
That's great. Who would you like to choose on? I can't see, guys, we can't see the screen. Great. Dimitri, can you make it smaller, because we can't see at the top? Hello, there we go. Now I can see you. Hi.
Hi, Brendan. Hi, Natalie. Hi. I'm going to the marketing event in a couple of weeks. I'm very excited.
Awesome.
My business is not generating enough leads. So that's why I was like, oh my God, I need this workshop as soon as possible.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So my question today, by the way, I'm a fully remote CPA firm doing like strategic planning, not just tax prep. And recently I hired a junior staff. So, which she's not delivering the result I expect her to deliver because her attitude towards the remote work and because I didn't set up clear expectations. So I have two questions. The first one was I learned from the last leadership event is the reset, verbal warning, performance review, and a fire. So I want to know at what process do I lay that out? Like, hey, like, because we don't want to hire someone just to tell them, hey, this is the process we're gonna. If you don't do this 4 times, or you're out. So that's my question number one. When do we have?
Yeah, but okay. So let's first of all, for everybody, what you guys are going to learn if you're new on here, when we do these live conversations, it's to help all of you. And I want to make sure people understand that communication isn't what you said, it's what people think they heard. And when you ask multiple questions and run on, then people can't answer your question. So if you do that with your team, you're going to have a problem with your employees. So you asked a question, which was, how do you, when you're interviewing people, how do you communicate your process for if it's not working out? I just want to make sure I understand what the basis of the question was.
Was that the question?
That was the question. Like, when do I tell them what my process looked like?
Yeah. So
can I take this?
Yeah, I'm just saying. But before you take this, I want to make this point. You guys notice I had to ask to understand what our question was. So if you go on to your next question and we just riff off a bunch of stuff, we might not even be talking about what you want. So this is a classic opportunity for every person here to know that when you're asking questions of people, you got to be clear, you got to be concise, and you got to allow them to answer or reaffirm with them that they understand what you're talking about, or miscommunication happens. And believe it or not, more often than not, what causes stress between business owners and employees is the fact they're not even speaking on the same thing because everyone's moving too fast and people get their feelings hurt, and where there's high emotion, low intelligence. So slow down, ask good questions, and then allow somebody to respond. And trust me, it will change your world. Go ahead, Nat.
Totally. So the way that we have this communicated with our team is actually through the employee handbook. So in onboarding, this is a little tip for all of you guys who struggle with employee issues, which is likely every single one of you. Anything that I would feel insecure about going to bed at night, wondering, man, does Joey, our new salesperson, know this thing? I put it in the handbook, or I put it in an onboarding plan. It's normally one of those two places. Either they need to be trained on it, or they can just read it in a policy that doesn't need training and explanation. That's kind of how I create the distinction between what goes in an onboarding plan versus in a handbook. So in the handbook, I don't need to train every brand new employee on what our termination process is. Like, they can read what the termination process is for we call it employee or performance improvement. So in our handbook, we have this whole section on performance improvement. And if I was really struggling with people not picking this up, not understanding it, what I would do is create a quiz for the handbook. And we have a Cardinal Ventures quiz for our handbook, and we do it at post onboarding. So inside the quiz, I would add a question to ensure that people are actually reading it, saying like, hey, what's step 2 of employee performance improvement? And once I have put that in the quiz, that's going to force somebody to go read that section, because they likely didn't read the handbook, because quite honestly, most business owners and most previous employers that they've worked for do not do this. They just put random stuff in their handbook. They put random stuff in their onboarding, so their team members don't even think that it's a real document. So if you redirect and retrain your team to, hey, the things that we ask you to read, the things that we ask you to do, they matter. They matter so much to us that we administer a quiz around it so that we can ensure that you know these things. That way, you're going to be able to duplicate these processes a lot more seamlessly, instead of just feeling like, oh, this person got trained on it, but I don't know if they did, or maybe the other person did, and it's not really being duplicated to the level that you want.
And I'm perfectly fine saying to somebody, hey, I want to make sure you understand how it works here, because I talk about the confidence meter. And I tell them, when I'm 100% confident that you're doing the best job you can, you should know that if I'm not telling you I'm not 100% confident, you should not worry about what I'm thinking or feeling about you, because I will tell you. Because that way, if somebody makes a mistake, you can say, hey, you just knocked my confidence 5%. Please don't do it again. Here's what you need to do to make it up. But here's the thing, most people worry about what people think of them, and most people worry about how they're doing in work, and the communication is so poor that unless you open communication lines up and let people know, hey, if I haven't said anything to you, you should be 100% certain I'm confident in you. And then if I lose my confidence for some reason, I'll tell you. And the other thing is, when I lose my confidence, I tell you, I'll also tell you how to get it back up, and then I'll tell you when it's back up. If you do something that doesn't make sense to me and you violate our rules here, then my confidence will go down. But once my confidence under 75%, we can't work together anymore. Could you imagine running a department or being the CEO and being 25% certain that someone's screwing everything up? You couldn't sleep at night and it wouldn't work. And so what you do is you just make sure people know the rules, and you say, here's how I'm going to communicate them. If there's ever an issue where we're at risk in our relationship, I'll warn you, and then I'll tell you. And then if it happens again, I'll write it down. And then if it happens again, we're going to part ways. That's how I interact with my new team members, because what I don't want is there to be confusion, because confusion always creates failure. So the more clear you are about your process and the more open and transparent you are, you take pressure away from people, because then if you're not going to somebody and going, man, I don't know, Natalie, I'm feeling like maybe we're missing somewhere. It's not really working out. My confidence is shaken a little in the first 2 weeks on the job, but here's the 3 things you can do to fix it. Then Natalie's like, oh man, because most people can feel when something's not in alignment. And most owners ignore their employees until they can't take it anymore. And then they let the bucket spill over, and it turns into an emotional drama fest. And the thing is high emotion, low intelligence. So the sooner you can be clear, concise, and communicative, the better off everybody is. And I wouldn't be worried about hurting people's feelings. They'll probably appreciate you telling them what the process is so they don't have to guess at it.
Great, thank you so much. That's very helpful. May I ask my second
Sure.
question? Is I kind of changed my mind about this position. I actually want to eliminate this position. What's your suggestion?
What do you mean eliminate the position? You don't need it anymore in the company?
I feel like the junior staff in our firm in a remote environment needs too much training. It doesn't really work out really well for me.
Well, how often have you, how many tries have you had at that?
2.
So maybe it is the person that's trying to do it doesn't know how to do it well. Like, you don't know if you're an expert at helping people do it because you're giving up.
Yeah, can I play devil's advocate for you?
Well, I'm waiting to get a perspective. I want her to respond, not you. So how confident are you on a scale of 1 to 10 that you're doing it the right way and onboarding people the right way and setting them up for success?
I know I'm not doing something right. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. So here's my point. Natalie's going to help you figure out if technically it kind of works or doesn't work with that stuff. The point I'm making for all business owners that are watching this, so don't take this like I'm directing it at you, is if you're unconfident that you're doing something right, then you really don't have any other choice for it to not work. But if you give up on trying to figure out how to do it right, then you're never going to make it work. And the thing about business is you're never going to do anything right as a business owner, because everything about business is trial and error and learning from your mistakes and incrementally making it better until something works. So I just don't want you to give up on something because, I tried that a couple times, it didn't work, versus what do I need to do different in order to make it work? It's a mindset difference. Now, technically, Natalie will answer if the strategy in itself is a core strategy you should be deploying, or if you should be thinking about doing something different.
See, I feel like business owners err on the opposite side of you, which is why I appreciate that you are aware enough of your business model to really be thinking with, hey, maybe this role with this type of talent, with what we're asking of this role, isn't actually going to fit what our business model is. And I find that the majority of the people on this call actually just accept that, we're going to have this one or these 2 roles do something that one person could do, or vice versa. And they don't really pay attention to what's working, how do we tweak it, how do we optimize it so that we can create a model to then mimic, master, and multiply. They just expect that the model is already there. And oftentimes most of the businesses, they don't have a model. And so I appreciate that your thought process is already around, hey, maybe this isn't the right talent, this isn't the right job description, this isn't the right culmination of everything.
Yeah, so that's my point, is it could be a whole series of a bunch of things that aren't working, but it doesn't mean your strategy's wrong. And I just want to make sure that all business owners watching this understand Building a business is trial and error, and it's the granular incremental improvement on the things that you can prove works that makes businesses work. The problem is when you got mechanics involved and you can have 7 or 8 different things that all have to work together, it's really trial and error. So speeding that up and being a part of a community that's teaching how to blow through it is really, really a good thing. And I appreciate you coming on and even asking these questions.
For sure. Me too.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, who's next? Joel.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good, buddy. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm good. Good to be seen. I just wanted to share a win basically as far as some of the things that we started implementing from our whole platform process, as far as just with our employees in that process. Audrey started meeting with, doing that every 2-week review with them so they could make those improvements. And that's where it's like just that communication or just better communication dramatically has improved just the streamline of things. It improves morale, it improves productivity, where we've gotten some also too from this, just the recommendations on the platform of packaging, how we're packaging things has brought in some good 6-figure deals. So thank you.
That's awesome, dude.
So there's the win.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. Yeah, I love those wins, man. It's good. I love hold that platform up so people can see it again.
It's not the final even yet.
It's not even final. No thickness. Yeah, look at that.
We got this thing dog-eared all the way through because we're studying it. We keep going back to it and say, okay, what was the, what they find out, right? What do we need to make an adjustment on? And like you said, the incremental things, it's like every day keep showing up and keep changing little things, and it starts stacking.
That's
so
it, man.
true.
That's so true.
We did the same process that we run all of our clients through with the platform we just did the marketing section about a month and a half ago. And there was so much great data, and we took action on 2 lines in the whole marketing section because we're like, man, those are the 2 that we didn't even see, and we're running this, but somebody that's an outsider can see opportunity. We took 2 lines and entirely changed the direction for some of the campaigns that we're running, and have found an incredible amount of success just because we were looking at those 2 lines. So I love that. Yes, there's the overarching pieces, but you're looking for increments. You're looking for the things that are going to make the most amount of impact.
That's why, and Joel, you'll appreciate this. When people are like, oh, I hired a marketing agency and I worked with them for 4 months or 6 months, and then I went to another one and then another one, and they all suck and nobody can do. It's because no one is ever long enough into the relationship to be able to create an algorithm to find the nuance of the things that will actually work. And you keep jumping from new person to new person to new person.
Yep.
And because the owner's not learning what is or isn't working, they're expecting the agency to do it. And the agency doesn't have enough runway with those business owners to actually have enough data to be able to do it. And because they keep switching, they keep changing how they're doing it. So no one's ever going to find out the way to do it. That's why big organizations, they don't switch over and over and over and over. They pound what they know works once they prove what works. And I think
100%.
most small businesses don't have the patience to stick through it and figure it out and work with the agencies. They just expect them to do it, drop the magic bullet in there, and then win without doing any effort. And it's just never going to happen.
I always see, like with businesses, is like when they try to bring us on board, they're always trying to get that last little mile. That's what they're trying to hire and do. And they don't realize all the process, the journey that their customers took to get there. And that's all part of that marketing process. When you start breaking it down, start looking at the data and the journey of the customer, it's like, yeah, you what you're saying.
And by the way, Joel, you'll probably want to join us at the end of July at HQ. We're actually releasing the Business Advisor franchise program. And I think you would be, you're a perfect example of that because you know our business well, you've been in our programs, but the thing is, it's an extension on what you're doing. And so anybody that's financial services, business brokers, insurance agencies, business consultants, marketing consultants, and advisors, we're launching the 10X Business Advisor. And this program is going to be a legitimate franchise where we're going to license and franchise you IP that we've created for you to work with your customers. And then for those people that are in that franchise, anybody you bring into our ecosystem, so you're the front line, we'll be the back end support line. We're going to revenue share all the way through the life cycle of every single client you bring to the system so we can all win together and 10X all our businesses together. Very excited about this program.
That's super exciting. All right, let's, Dimitri, could you put the mouse over the people's names so I can see them?
Yeah, we need to know who's next, Dimitri.
I can't see, Dimitri, you're too high. I can't see the screen. Can you put the whole screen down? I literally can't see.
There
we
you go.
The guy who is pointing.
Right there.
I don't
Who's
know
that,
his name.
Dimitri?
There we go. I can see names now. Samuel.
Let's go, Samuel.
Let's go, Samuel.
Hey, what's happening, guys?
Hello.
Anyways,
What's
I
the
have a
question?
question. I have a
Yeah.
question. Okay, as a small company, how to track the KPIs of 5 different marketing campaigns that we do every single day? How to track them? How to track the income? How to track the KPIs on those 5 different marketing campaigns we
Can
do
you give me
every
one example of an activity that you're talking about?
Let's say a video. We put a video out there, on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube.
Okay, so you got a video. So you have a video you launched.
That's one. And
Are you
then we
putting
got
one? Let's just do one, because this is, again, I'm going to tell everybody, when you're trying to figure out KPIs and matrix and you start throwing 10, 15 things at it, no one's going to figure it out. All you guys need is one example of one activity to figure out how you're going to measure all of them. So you have a video, you're putting it out across all the channels.
right.
How much are you spending a day on that video to promote it? Right there
Money
tells
or-
everybody. So the number one KPI is you got to know what you're spending. If you
Oh,
don't know what you're
you-
spending, you don't know what return, targeted KPI return is.
Are you doing any paid media or is it all organic?
All organic.
Okay, there you go. Well, then you should have said that. Like, it's organic. I'm not paying. Like, there's no pause. You guys got to know your business. And this is part of this is, you know why I ask these questions? Because I've tracked so many KPIs. Because all of a sudden, you're doing an organic video. You've got one video out. It's across all these campaigns. Okay, I'm sure there's a link on that video, right?
Right.
And I'm sure that link can track which of the platforms you ran it on, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then when they connect it into something, are you selling something?
Our services.
Okay. So what does that mean? Like, they got to click on something, and what are your services?
Let's say construction. Those are
Okay. So someone's going to click on a link, and it's going to be, we build something for you. So what do you want them to do when they click that link?
to call the office,
Well, they ain't going to call your office.
shoot an email.
They ain't going to email you.
I mean, something has to be done. Something.
Yeah, well, how come there's not a video of you saying, hi, I'm Brandon Dawson, Cardone Ventures. My job is to 10X your personal, professional, financial income. Here's what we do for business owners. Click this link if you want more information, and download this brochure I created on how I'm going to save you a lot of money in your next construction jobs, and I can do it bigger, better, faster than anyone else in the marketplace. Like, what's your promote?
Well, first we promote the company. That's
Nobody cares about your company. So this is so look, what they care is about the
How you
impact,
solve their
how you
problem.
solve their problem. Why are you talking about you? Like, put a video out tomorrow that says, hey, this is Brandon Dawson. What kind of construction do you do?
Remodel,
Okay. Hey, this is Brandon, commercial or residential?
both.
Okay. Hey, this is Brandon Dawson. I do commercial and residential remodel. My clients have been raving about the success that we've been able to deliver for them, but you don't care about me. You care about you. So here's a quick survey to find out 3 things that are most important to you. Are you looking for any remodel jobs? Are you frustrated with anybody that's currently working with you? And then all of a sudden they answer it. And if so, download my free brochure on how I'm going to show you how we can do it bigger, better, faster. There's got to be a little value there. But the point is you're just asking them to call you or to email you if they need somebody to do construction. So that messaging is broken in the first place. But the point is, if you had 5 different videos, each video had a different message point, and you put all 5 of those videos out, and you could see it. Your key performance indicator would be which video got the most activity and the most registrations.
Yeah, I
Okay.
wouldn't, two things on this. Every piece of content that you put out there has a call to action. There's no general information. There's no about us information. We have a rule inside our organization, which is every piece of promotion has a call to action. And then
Now,
instead of
hold on. Now, like if I put something for them to download, is that gonna make it better?
that's going to be a call to action. So a call to action could be downloads. A call to action could be phone calls.
Yeah, it ain't
call
going to be call
action-
me though. It's going to be register to talk to one of our business advisors.
Yeah, a call to action could be a phone number. It could be a direct message. There's no shortage of calls to actions. So instead of tracking, because to me, how many views a video gets or how many likes a video gets, that's a metric. That's not going to help you grow your business. What you should be tracking on a daily basis is what movement was happening with those call to actions. So when you actually got somebody to do something, hey, we got 4 phone calls yesterday, and these 4 phone calls came from this post where we told people to call us, versus we got 3 downloads in our downloadable. So don't measure the activity. It's nice to look at, and as you get bigger, there can be dedicated team members to just look at activity, but you're going to waste your time looking at views and likes and comments on a video that isn't actually driving anything, which would be your key performance indicators. But you have to fix every piece of content has to have a call to action, or else you're not going to know what's successful and what's not.
Got it. Now, what if we got 5?
All right. So what you need to do is you need to come to the marketing workshop.
You do need to come to the marketing.
I can
Essentials
already
workshop.
tell that you need, how big is your business right now?
Between 4 and 12 employees.
Okay. 4 and
Awesome.
12, between 4 and 12. How many employees do you have?
4.
Okay. So it ain't between 4 and 12. It's got 4.
But the thing is that most of my work, I just sub it out.
Okay.
I don't-
Yeah.
So,
Guys,
so
you can put the marketing essentials
put the marketing essentials workshop. We have one this weekend. I don't know. Where do you live?
San Diego.
All right, look, we got a marketing essentials workshop this weekend in Scottsdale, Arizona. We are going to answer every one of your questions. We're going to fix your marketing problems because, man, you got some marketing problems. But you're a good dude. So, look, get here. Let us show you exactly how to do it. So we can take your 4 employees to 40, and we can take your $1 million business, or how much revenue are you doing?
Right now, between 80 and 120,000 per month.
Yeah. So see, I said your $1 million business. So you're doing around $1 million. Look, no one's going to shine me. I know the numbers. I know what they look like in construction, in HVAC. If you're a plumber, if you're a doctor, if you're a nurse, if you're a chiropractor, if you're a CEO, if you're a supermodel, high performer, like my wife, no one can hide. We know the numbers. Look, nobody needs to be shy. Let's just get those numbers to 10x. Let's 10x those numbers.
Yeah, so for those of you who need plans this weekend, you either need plans or you need to fix your business. It's one of the two. We have a marketing essentials workshop this weekend. This marketing essentials workshop is freaking phenomenal for people who don't have the skills that Brandon has to be able to hold your phone out in front of you and actually promote your business in a way that's succinct, that creates a call to action, that allows you to track what the activity was so that you can know, hey, what do I do more of, versus, oh, that was really cringy and it didn't perform, so I'm not going to do that again. It's really important to have that data and information, because without it, you're just going to feel like you're throwing stuff out there. And when it's not successful, you're going to be frustrated. And when it is successful, you're not going to know how to repeat it and how to duplicate that so that you can continue to have a stable lead flow coming into your business.
Awesome. Hey, they have a video of this. Can you play
There's
that,
a
Dimitri?
video?
I want to see it. I've never seen it.
This knowledge right here, we really are going to 10x our business, and there's no doubt in my mind that we will.
Well, I was pretty confused what marketing was. I always thought it was more advertising and everything.
You know, a lot of times we just throw something at the wall and we feel like it's working, but we don't know if it's working. So the tools that were explained today will have the knowledge to know whether those are working, and we're actually getting a good ROI on that.
The importance on data and collecting data, how to collect data. I love that you guys gave us so much information about the proper equipment and just the things to look for, the things that nobody ever tells you.
There are so many platforms and so many business tools out there that we are not utilizing, and they are key to expanding our business.
The most important thing I learned was the brand pillars are really problems I solve for my customers.
Just how to set up your emails to captivate every personality that's out there. You know, just how to do what we're doing better. We're doing a lot, how to narrow that down and make it effective.
Yeah, my key takeaways is coming up with KPIs to measure my marketing campaign, my marketing progress. It's better for you to have a tiny failure and know why, rather than having a tiny success that you don't know how to repeat.
The thing that hit with me about this whole workshop was I'm used to talking to a lens, and I never really realized the other person that I'm speaking directly to. So building that person out and communicating directly with one individual instead of talking to the masses, driving that impact through communication and on video it's untapped.
Before I came to this, I would have never been in front of this camera talking to you right now, and that's exactly why you need to be here. So you can learn to do this, learn to talk back and forth, and learn to talk to your customer, your potential clients in the future, as well as people that you're trying to recruit for your business as well.
It's not just about looking at it from a macro standpoint. It's about going deep, going granular. And when you have the structure in place and you're looking at your marketing strategy, that's what it's about.
All right. So that was our marketing testimonials. Hey, so someone asked a question, what is the difference between the marketing workshop and 10X 360? The 10X 360 is a program that's specifically built based on 12 years of research over 4,000 different businesses across the 8 pillars that allow a business to get to $125 million. And it breaks those pillars down to what needs to be in place at breakpoint 1, breakpoint 2, breakpoint 3, breakpoint 4, all the way up to breakpoint 7. And you don't know where those pillars are. You don't know what things need to be in place, and nor do we, unless you hire us to come in and spend a year consulting in your business, and you're going to pay about $250,000 to $500,000 for a consultant to do that. Now, I thought that was ridiculous in business, by the way. So what I wanted to do was create a program that in 2 days we could do what it would take a consultant a year to do. And that 2 days is the 10X 360, where we curate through all the different elements, where your strengths, where your weaknesses, where your opportunities, and what your threats are in the marketplace. And the whole executive team from finance, operations, people, marketing, I don't know, every department in finance is involved with this. So we can find your holes, and we can make sure that 3 to 5 things you go home and do that will double the size of your business. That's the 10X 360. You probably need to be around $1 million or more to get the full benefit of that, although we've had smaller businesses come through. The workshops, like the finance workshops, the marketing workshops, the people workshops, the sales workshops, the leadership workshops, those are the 2-day programs of applying very specific stuff to your business that you need to know how to do. You need to know exactly how to do it. If you're a smaller business, you would pick one of the most important, which would be marketing, and then it would be sales, and then it would be people, and then it would be finance, and then it would be leadership, because it's kind of this growth stages for your business. So these workshops are built to work with the 10X 360 for $1 million businesses that come out of the 10X 360. Or if you're not yet at $1 million, you should go to those workshops based on exactly where your strengths are, or your weaknesses are, or where your knowledge is within the business. So we've run 1,400 people through the 10X 360, and we've not had one person that has not succeeded and grown their business through that. So we're very confident with that program. But right now, what we're talking about is the marketing program for this weekend. And if you're feeling a little spicy and you want to come to a 10X 360, well, we happen to have one of those on Thursday and Friday here too.
You could spend all 4 days.
You can spend 4 days with us.
With us.
If you're new and you want to spend 4 days with us going through the 10X 360 and crushing the 2-day marketing program, and you are brand new, just put new if you're interested in that conversation. I will have Josh reach out to you, and you know what? I'll even do something a little special for you if you're interested in doing that. If you want to spend 4 days,
special, there was 2 specials.
If you want a special, That's really special.
That's right. I've never heard you do a special.
So put new in the chat. Josh will reach out to you with the team.
So
and we'll
I
do
do
something
know
special
that
for
we have one client on the call that has a win. So
Let's
I would
go.
love to get Pat unmuted to bring us home with a win on this Tuesday.
Now, while he's coming on, I want to introduce, if you're new, Pat, when he started working with us, had a business that had been stuck at $1,000,001 for 6 or 7 years, and he's paying himself about 130 grand. And he started working with us in the first year of us working together. He did 3.5 million and made over $500,000. And Pat, how are we doing this year, buddy?
Well, we're doing really good. We're looking at numbers here the other day. Last Friday, we're sitting right now at about 2.9 million in sales. If we count the 500 that we had from last season that we weren't able to produce, that puts us almost at our 3.5 million that we did last year. So we're knocking it out of the park that way. One of the greatest wins that I have today, and I get to share it with you guys because you're part of my family. 25 years I've been with my beautiful wife, Trista. And she's the most amazing woman, and I love her to death. And I want you guys all to be part of that. 25 years of that woman putting up with my ass. and it's just remarkable to have her in my life. Best thing ever. And I want you to know I love her and I support her beyond belief.
Goes both ways.
Oh, there she is.
You're making Brandon cry.
Yeah, you give a little tear. I'll give a little tear to Trista for you. But now get your ass back to work so we can hit 6 million this year.
We're working on it. We're working on it. I also, when we have another conversation a little bit later too, I also passed a couple tests here within the last couple months that gives me the ability to have contractors licenses in different states. So Brandon, you know what I'm talking
we're ready,
about.
man. Let's go. Hey, everyone, just this is what success looks like. Look, they're killing it in business. They did last year what would have taken them from an earnings standpoint. It would have taken 5 years to earn the same amount of money. They pulled time and money forward. This year, we'll probably make $1 million when it's all said and done. He's pulling 10 years. The two of them are pulling 10 years of time and money forward, which means now they get 10 years, actually 15 years of time and money working for them.
Which kind of means that you guys have been married for 35 years. You're where you want to be.
Yeah, you're where you want to be.
I agree.
So look, this is how it celebrates. They're doing it in partnership. They're doing it together. Natalie and I love working together and building together. And when you can do it with the people you care about and you love, and you're having success, this is what makes
10X.
life so 10X and so much fun. And I would just encourage, if you're new, to be part of the community, because it's just waiting for someone who wants to take advantage of it. And Pat, I'm so proud of you, man. We love you guys. You know that. And I can't wait for you to get down here and we can talk about what we're going to do down here in Arizona together.
We're looking forward to it. Yeah, 100%.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. And how do you end it on a better note than a 25-year anniversary?
That's so beautiful. So beautiful.
It was awesome. All right, everybody, look, thank you for joining us. I know we are a little disorganized. We've been traveling all over the country. This is the first time back in the studio in the last month. Obviously, we have a lot going on here. No excuse. We will have our shit together next week, because I promise you we will. And thank you for joining us for another 10X 360, another 10X Owners Live. I was just looking at my notes.
When you see us in person,
I just got back from Cabo, so look,
we have it all
takes me a while to
together.
wind back up.
Come spend 4 days with us. We've got a 360 happening this Thursday and Friday in Scottsdale, Arizona. Then we have our marketing essentials workshop on Saturday and Sunday, we're going to be diving into all things marketing, all things branding, all things KPIs, metrics, you name it. We're going into it on Saturday and Sunday. There's no better time to be in Scottsdale, Arizona, because nobody is here because it's a little warm outside. But who needs to be outside when there's so much business to learn inside? That's my thought process on it. So with that, guys, have a 10X Tuesday night. Don't forget, tomorrow is Wednesday. You need to rack up a win
Wednesday.
on Wednesday. So that's very important. And we believe in you. We're here for you. Can't wait to see you guys all next Tuesday on 10X Owners Live.
Have a wonderful evening, and thank you for joining us. The whole purpose of this show is to engage with business owners and be able to answer questions for people that will give them some insight and perspective on how to grow and scale a business. Not only leadership, but real life examples. This is the golden moment. I would do business with you right now.